This is the Spigen Tough Armor case for my Galaxy Z Flip 3, and I'm very excited to try this because this is one of the only cases I've seen that has full hinge protection. And not only am I excited to see this, but this case has been one I've gotten a lot of requests for as well. So it definitely seems to be very popular, at least amongst people who are looking at either buying this phone or have this phone. So I'm excited to try it out and see what it's like. So you go ahead and open this up and pull it out of the plastic. All right, there we go. So inside the case, we get some adhesive strips. We got the same ones like these in the Slim Armor as well. And there are some instructions about what you're supposed to do if the case is separated, or the additional adhesive strips that are given, what you're supposed to do. So there's a lot going on here. If a case has to come with an instructional manual, that's interesting. You know, there's definitely a lot going on if that's the case. So no pun intended there, but yes. Let me go ahead and put those to the side and let's see what it is. So hinge protection technology. So the hinge pretty much is like this little slidey thing that actually seems to go retract into the case, which is interesting. Let me just show you from the inside what that looks like. That is an interesting design, and for the most part seems to be decently flexible, so that's interesting. All right, so there's these adhesive pads here, and there's also adhesive line throughout the inside of the edges. The right side is completely exposed, but the bottom side does have coverage here for the USB-C slot, the speaker grill, and the microphone. So let me go ahead and remove all this adhesive. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one was already there. 6, 7. Come on, get out of there. 8, 9. 9 adhesive strips to be pulled out. Let me go ahead and put the phone into the case. Go ahead and make sure I slip it on. And there we go. All right. So the hinge protector is on, and the case seems to be well seated. Let me just go ahead and make sure everything's popped on. All right, there we go. Let me put all this, push all this off to the side, and here's a look at the Spigen Tough Armor case. So similar to other thicker cases, this does pretty much close up the gap between the phone. It's not perfect, you can still see through it, but it does take a big chunk that's open here and cover it up. Now the hinge protector, this doesn't protect the entire hinge like I assumed it would. The edges are still exposed, and honestly this isn't a tight fit. This isn't like a perfect fit. It's just kind of a little bit more of a cover. As you guys can see, there's gaps there. This isn't really perfect. It's just like a very rudimentary cover for it. So it does open and close very smoothly. It doesn't cause any hindrance to the motion of the flip. I can barely feel that there's anything there. So that I gotta give thumbs up for. It definitely has a very smooth action. There is a very interesting design here. You guys can see there's like cutouts here. And I'm gonna assume, I actually have no idea why it was designed this way. I wanna guess that, you know, just naturally the way my hand is resting, it's probably just made so that your palm fits a little bit more comfortably here. The edge here is completely exposed, as I said, so the volume rocker and the power button fingerprint scanner is completely opened up here, which is weird because the Slim Armor actually had covers over the volume rockers, but I'm surprised to see the Tough Armor doesn't. That's an interesting choice they went with. Otherwise, there's a very significant lip over the already significant lip that this case has. Let me see if you can get a good angle on that. But yeah, would not be afraid of putting my phone face down with this case. It definitely has that raised edge, raised lip to protect it. The one thing that I am noticing here is that the case does seem to have the same problem that the slim armor did, as to where this area is covered up, but it kind of covers a little bit of the glass area. As you guys can see, like the glass goes a little bit further down to there, but the plastic bit comes in and cuts off a little bit earlier. Like it doesn't retain the design that the glass has, so that's a little bit disappointing. But you know, it is what it is. I have to say though, I do think that just this kind of layered design, and there's a little bit of a texture right here. I'm not sure if the camera's going to be able to pick it up with the lighting angle, but it does look pretty cool. I do like the design of it. The camera and this screen are very well protected. Just there's a pretty big lip here, so unless something directly hits this, even if you have it face down, I think that there's no real issues with this with the screen or the glass here getting scratched or scuffed up. The edges, they definitely look cool. So on this side you do have the Tough Armor branding, and on this side you've got pretty much nothing. It's very simple, very clean, and on the bottom you've got Spigen and nothing else there. So this part right here is the most interesting part of this case, the covered hinge. But as I said, I'm just not impressed with the fact that the hinge isn't covered. I just wish that it was completely covered all the way to the edge, because at this point, it just kind of feels like, why even bother? You know, if you're not going to do it the right way, why? Like the dust will still get in through the edges. It's not like they can't. So it confuses me just a little bit. So I'm just going to give you guys another good look at how it opens and closes. Otherwise, you know, the case is bulky for sure, but the way that these edges are kind of cut out and designed, it does feel comfortable to hold, at least in the hand, so it doesn't feel uncomfortable, which is good. I was a little bit worried with a thicker case like this, will it be comfortable to hold in the hand? And honestly, just the feel of this almost feels a little bit better than the slim armor, which I'm surprised by. I don't know, just the materials and the kind of cuts they've made. The design on a whole is nice, and it will give you really good protection. Just don't expect a lot from the hinge. And now that I've opened and closed it a few times, I do notice that when you open the phone, when you open the flip, you can kind of hear this hinge thing slightly rubbing in. So let me just try to see if the mic will pick it up. So it's not very noticeable, but if you do it slowly enough, you can hear it happening. And let me just show you guys on screen too, because it's just like this, the part lifts up and it starts to like kind of slowly go in there. And once it goes in there like 25%, then it's smooth all the way, but just the initial 25 is a little bit rough. So overall, if you're buying this just for the hinge protection, I don't think it's worth it. But if you're going to buy this case just in general because you like, if you'd want to have a little bit more protection and you like the look of the Tough Armor case, then go for it. It looks great. It feels great in the hand. I'm sure it will provide pretty good protection as well. I'm not going to do drop tests or anything, but my experience with the Tough Armor cases from Spigen have always been very positive. So it is a little bit expensive at $40, but you know, most cases for the flip are about this price, about at least $40 to $60, $70. So I do approve. I will say this though. Don't buy it if you're just looking for the hinge protection. This doesn't do as well of a job as you'd think it should. So beyond that, I love this. And if you're interested in checking this out, I'll have this case along with a few other cases I've tried out linked down in the description as well. So go ahead, check those out. And if you want to buy them, be sure to use those links. They give me a little bit of a commission, and it just helps out in running this channel. If you want to see more photos of the Z Flip 3 or this case, feel free to follow me over on social media. I'll have all the handles right here on the screen, and of course linked down in the description as well. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more flippy content. I'm looking forward to making more Z Flip videos, so be sure to subscribe to keep track of those. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.